Hey, Supernatural fans and my good buddy John. This car here is Sammy, and Sammy belongs to John, and John lives down in Florida, and obviously John sent us up his car to be turned over to a Supernatural car. When the car first came in, we were pretty excited, looked like a pretty good car, and as we really started, this car's been kind of sitting in our holding cell. We had done some things to it, but now we were really moving it up into this stage of the area where things were really going to get done. So the front end was stripped down, fenders and everything, and we were going to put disc brakes on this car, tubular A-arms, and we're going to paint up the frame and everything. And we started jacking up the car yesterday, and this side went great. And then we came over here to the right side of the car, and the frame just started going away. And this, you see this pile of rust and dirt and stuff? That is from the frame. So I'm going to try to get down here and see if we can actually see the frame here. Right there. See that hole? The side of the frame? It's coming up underneath. It's bad. It's real bad. So we're like, oh, this frame is pretty much shot. And so we have a parts car out in our lot, and we checked the frame on it, and the frame was fine. So we pulled the parts car in, and here is the frame. We've taken the body off it yesterday. And so what this happens with this frame here now is, first off, it's going to get power sprayed. After it gets power sprayed, it's going to get blasted, and then it's going to get painted. And then we're going to put in all new bushings in the rear. We're going to use the rear end out of Sammy, but we're going to put all new bushings, and everything will be back here. Probably run all new brake lines. We got all new steering linkage, and like I said, the A-arms are going to be tubular. New springs, new heavy-duty sway bar, disc brakes, everything. So once all this gets done, built, then we're going to put the motor and the transmission in. And then once all that's all installed, we'll just drop Sammy right down on her. And we've got new bushings and bolts and everything for this. So Johnny, there is your new frame, and this thing is solid as a rock. Scaly, sitting out in Kansas, but solid as a rock, and so no worries there. So we're all good. Sammy, on the other hand, we started digging into Sammy, and we found things, and thank God John knew about these, but this here is a piece of tin that was laid across here. And it was spray painted, the splatter paint, and basically this body bushing, the bracket and everything, the brace underneath here, it's all rotted out. So we're going to replace the whole trunk. There's holes down here, and then this over here is the same thing. It's gone. So we're going to put a whole new floor and bracing in here. So that's going to happen. And then on Sammy's doors here, these are rotted out down here. I know you can't really tell, but this is rotted out. If I took a screwdriver through here, it would just be nothing. And it's only these two doors. So we've got two new doors right here for it. So then the quarter panels all down here are all rotted out. We're going to put in new panels. And then I have a feeling that there's going to be some hand forming here. I don't know if we got enough off the other parts car out there to grab that, but it might be pretty thin to weld up against, so those might have to be hand formed. Actually, here on the back glass, we do not have the back glass out, but I don't know if you guys can see down in here, but this actually looks really, really good. And John informed me that he had actually had this fixed some years ago. So we'll test it out and see how it is. Front glass, looks pretty good. Once again, we don't know until we pull that out. So our main focus right now is to get this body off the frame and get that frame over there all done up. Now, one thing about this car, it is a functional AC car and it works. And so we're pretty sure, because of the fittings on this, that this stuff is original R12 Freon. That stuff is really, 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 really expensive. And so we don't want to lose any of that. So we're going to keep this unit all together with the body when it comes off. That way we don't lose any of that Freon, because that stuff is just crazy, insane, expensive. So we're going to keep it all together. We're going to put a new heater core, a new blower motor. We've got a new intake. We're going with the Edelbrock intake. We're going to go with an Edelbrock carburetor. We've got the chrome valve covers, disc brakes. We got a new rag joint coming in. We're going to put on new shiny hot jet coated headers. These have just look like they've seen better days. So we got new springs, new shocks. This car is going to be pretty much new all the way around. John was teasing me yesterday when I was talking to him, and he said, like, Rick, I didn't think you like to do frame off restorations. I said, I didn't say I didn't like doing them. You know, we'll do them, I just don't advise them. Now, on a frame off restoration, this is not really a frame off restoration, okay? A frame off restoration is when the car gets taken, you know, the frame comes off and everything, and it gets put back to exactly the way it was when it came from the factory. Everything has to match, it has to be perfect, and it goes through, when there's judges that judge these things, and I don't know, there's like cars like worth 100 points, and you get deducted off certain things if you don't have certain things. Those are frame off restorations, and I'm not a fan of those. Not saying we won't do one, just not a huge fan of them. But I like customized cars, hot rods, muscle cars, stuff like that. It does not have to be 100% stock, because there's just obviously some stuff that's better out there than it when it came from the factory. And that being disc brakes, you know, the tubular A-arms, the heavy-duty sway bars, stuff like that that's going to give you the drivability and the stopping power, which these cars actually should have had in 1967. You know, here's the other thing, your tires. Back in 1967, you would have been driving on bias ply tires, you know, but if you come into an event where your car is being judged and you come in with the radials on it, you're going to get docked. So these are things that, you know, I like small customized. I like to keep some stock appearances and stuff like that, but I'm not really into, they have these things called Resto Rods, and they are basically, they take an old car, Camaro, Mustang, whatever, it could be an Impala, and they make it where it is got like all these comfort features, and the suspension's all completely redone, but on the outside it kind of looks like the original car from the 60s or 70s, whatever you're building. Those are okay. I'm just not a huge fan of them, but they're okay. I mean, I like old cars. The one good thing that we noticed here on Sammy is that the trunk lip is actually really good all the way around, so that means that we're not going to have to patch that in. The deck lid was shot. Let me kind of pull this down here so you can see. So we've cut out, we thought we might be able to come in and try to save it, but you know, I'll show you here the back side. It's just rotted out, and it's just easier, cheaper to put on a new deck lid, than which I had. So and we got a really good mint deck lid for this car. So Sammy's going to have some major surgery done on him, but it's all going to come through. It's, you know, once this car's done, it'll be around for, oh my God, more than another 50 years, because you got to remember in 1967, these were cars that were driven every day. These what they went to the work in, to the grocery store, shopping, family events. You know, this was the car. And today, when we're restoring these cars, and they're going to last so much longer than 50 years, because these cars aren't getting driven like that every day. You know, these things were driven in the snow and rain and da-da-da. And when you come in, you know, today and do this, obviously these owners are not going to be driving out in storms and stuff like that. So you get a lot more life out of this car. So it'll be handed down to grandchildren, you know, and probably great-grandchildren. Sammy is going to be a Kansas car. Kansas car means spotlights. So we're going to get the spotlights all working and everything on it. I have John's Kansas plates, original plates from Supernatural, and they will be going on this car and everything. So Sammy is now in what I call the wheelhouse. It's out of the holding cell. Some things were done. It was kind of stripped and stuff, and we got it moved up to the next level. And now we had this spot coming in, and this is where Sammy's sitting at today. So for future guys that are looking for cars to buy and stuff, you really want to check these trunks really good, okay? And I caught it because I just saw like a little corner, like something didn't look right, and you know, we started unmasking, and there we go. So and John told me that this car, you know, basically was rotted probably in here, or probably on the other side too for a long time. Water came down, sat down here, and over the time it just ate, and so now that's what you're left with. But I think the floor pans are like it comes in 3 sections, and they are $100 a section. So $300 for the floor pans. I think the bracing is like $100. So not that bad on pricing and stuff. It just takes a little bit to get everything in there, do it upright, and but there's Sammy and what she's looking like, or he's looking at right now. Obviously, we're going to have more videos on this and photos and everything, and we're going to, you know, keep this documentary going on this car. So when you see it from the stage it's in now to when it's done, and it'll be a completely different looking car, and it's going to be a badass car. It's going to be a really, really nice car. That's, like I said, it's just going to be around for a long time, and that's what, you know, the main thing of it here is to preserve these cars and for generations to come. So I mean, this car will be here long after I'm gone, and which I'm happy about. So anyway, John and the Supernatural fans, there is Sammy, and kind of a little bit of a story on what's going on with Sammy. So obviously, if you guys have questions, please leave your comments below, and I will try to help out all I can and answer your questions. Sometimes I'm a little slow because I got obviously a lot of things going on, but I will always try to answer you back. So I hope you guys have a good week and a good weekend. And until next week, we'll do another update on this car to see how far it's come along. So there you go, and talk to you later. Bye.